Well, let's focus on the one who committed the genocide, not the one who might commit a genocide, because we don't know what the environment or the situation might be. It may well be that Trump might not even commit a genocide. I'm not defending Trump here. What I'm saying is it's important to look at the facts that are before you first and foremost. A genocide was committed by Genocide Joe. I'm not saying Genocide Joe supported. I'm saying he committed it because he allowed it to happen and he actively supported and he gave arms. In the words of Joseph Borrell, the EU foreign policy chief, he said, you keep saying you're against what's happening in Gaza. How does that make sense when you keep giving them weapons? It makes no sense. Your words don't align with the actions. Muslims survived 4 years of Trump, in the words of Hind Makki. 30,000 Palestinians did not survive 4 years of Biden. The second point that is worth noting is that politics is the science of human relations. Do you think that when Joe Biden loses, inshallah, that when Joe Biden loses in November, do you think, Ya Jalal, he's going to go home and say, Alhamdulillah, at least Trump is in power, at least the politics is going to stay the same with regards to Israel? Do you think that Biden walks out of the White House having lost to Trump and says to himself, phew, the system is the same. Israel is going to be... No, Biden is going to go home feeling so humiliated that he goes down in history as a one-term president. He will go home thinking, how could I have done things differently? Was Israel worth ruining the future of my political career? Was Israel worth compromising my second term? He will ask the opposite questions of what you're asking. The reason why I say this is because if that's Biden's reaction, what will be the reflections of the Democrats? Will they say, thank God the system is the same. Thank God Trump is going to do the same that we're going to do in Israel. Thank God Israel is safe even though we lost. No, they're going to say, was Israel worth losing? Was Israel... The point is there will be a political momentum reflection that will take place that has the potential to maximize and amplify into something that can shift the political language and rhetoric in American society. The point being is that when you punish a US president for a position of genocide, the next president looks at him and says, he fell because of Gaza. He didn't fall because of the economy. He fell because of Gaza. I don't want to fall because of this situation. I will think twice as a result. I'm not saying that's what Trump will do. I'm saying that's what the discussion amongst American politicians will be. And I always give the example, what makes the Zionist lobby so successful in America? It's not that the Zionist lobby deliver candidates. If all they could do was deliver candidates, then the candidate would win and betray the Zionists. Like the way that Bush did when the Muslims delivered him in Florida and gave him that swing that he needed. The reason why Bush was able to turn on the Muslims so easily after 9/11 is because he knew the Muslims could not punish him. The Zionists can punish a candidate. They throw 20 million into a swing state to try to topple Rashida Tlaib, for example, because she keeps talking about Palestine in Congress. They'll throw millions at Ilhan Omar. They might not have an alternative candidate, but they'll be like, we won't let you stay in power. And that's what fears the candidate. Imagine if in American society there's a precedent where as a result of the genocide in Gaza, the Muslims and their allies went and punished the sitting US president, even though it was going to bring Donald Trump to power. They said, listen, we would rather vote based on principle and value than short-termism. Imagine the shift that does where a congressperson suddenly says, listen, I need to go to these masajid. I need to visit them because these guys showed that they can topple a sitting US president. That congressperson will not only be able to say assalamu alaikum when he turns up, he might turn around to you and say, you know what, Muhammad, you know, Jalal, we got a tough road ahead of us. As long as we stay pure of heart, we can achieve it.
It's like being in America, Sami.
Because the Prophet Muhammad said, innamal a'malu binniyati. And the road might be tough, but as it says in the Quran, innamal usri yusra. The point is, why does they know this thing? Because it shows that they have power, the ability to punish the Muslims. And that's why I think that when you're talking about Trump, you're talking about what ifs. I'm talking about what happened. I'm telling you what happened here. You're telling me what ifs. This is why I always say, and I know some people might be upset with this example, but I want to finish on this example so people understand it. I believe that when you read the seerah of the Prophet Muhammad, when he fought Badr, he didn't know Uhud was coming. When he fought Uhud, he didn't know Khandaq was coming next. When he was in Khandaq digging the trench, he didn't know Hudaybiyah was coming next. When he signed Hudaybiyah, he didn't know the next year he'd be entering Mecca. The point is, the seerah is chapter by chapter by chapter. Our chapter here is about a president who committed genocide and the Labour Party that continues to support genocide and believes that's the way he can come to power. Some people are saying, but conservatives also support genocide. I'm like, the reason we're focusing on Labour is because we want to show that you can't get to power through genocide. That's it. The Conservatives, fine, like we deal with them, we know what they are. But Labour are trying to say we get to power through genocide.
Yeah.
And that's the point that I want to make here is, I'm not saying that the next 4 years are going to be rosy. I'm saying that the next 4 years are going to be difficult irrespective of who wins, whether it's Biden who commits genocide or Trump. In that case, I can't choose to have an easy 4 years. So that choice is out of my hands. I need to look at the next stage. So what choice do I have? Do I have the ability to change the debate in American society regarding genocide and red line? Yes. I can make it so that Americans know, the American society, I can establish a precedent that genocide ruins your political career. I can establish a precedent that it destroys your political career. At least that is better, given I don't have the choice of who can come into power like that. But not only that, to put it more simply, I always tell people that the next 4 years will be tough. But your choice really is, do you want to live those 4 years in dignity or humiliation? Do you want people to say that you are a people of dignity, that you stood on principle and you punished genocide, Joe, you punished what actually happened, and then you make preparations to resist Donald Trump in terms of what he's going to do with your legal teams and with your, analysis and media and narratives and developing the alliances? Or do you want to live 4 years in humiliation where the American political class, they say that Zionists stand up for Israel and they throw everything to defend Israel, that the African Americans defend African Americans, they throw their resources to defend their interests, but the Muslims, you can kill 30,000 in Palestine and they still come back to you because they're worried about a Muslim ban in the comfort of 4-bedroom homes.